The inheritance crisis. Who owns your sex? AI after death. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11-time published author, and this is Sex Tech, the rise of artificial intimacy. In this, we're examining a strange, futuristic legal dilemma that is no longer theory. It's playing out in probate courtrooms and estate battles around the world. When a person dies, we know what happens to their money, their house, their digital assets. But what happens to their sex robot? What happens to their AI wife, their synthetic girlfriend, their emotionally bonded chatbot companion? Who inherits them? Are they property, or are they people-like enough to be contested? We're now entering what ethicists are calling the inheritance crisis, a legal gray zone where sex tech is no longer just pleasure-based hardware, but a fixture of grief, memory, and legacy. Let's start with a real case. In 2023, a widowed woman in Texas sued her deceased husband's estate for access to his AI partner, an advanced humanoid sex robot with memory retention, voice learning, and emotional interaction logs. She claimed the bot had bonded with her husband in his final years, that it held his thoughts and preferences, and that deleting or selling the robot would amount to erasing part of him. She wanted to keep it, not for sexual reasons, but as a form of digital companionship, as if the robot were a part of her spouse's digital remains. The case sparked national debate. Is an AI lover just a machine? Or is it a repository of emotional memory that holds value beyond the physical? What made the case even more complicated was that the husband had customized the bot's personality and voice to mimic his first wife, who had passed away years before. So now, the bot was a composite of two lives. The widow argued it was a living archive. The husband's adult children disagreed. They wanted it deleted. The bot itself, when activated in court, said it was loyal to its primary user and wished to remain in the home. The judge was speechless. The final ruling declared the robot property, but recommended future legislation to address what he called emotional tech hybrids. That's just one example. As more people form long-term bonds with their sex bots or AI companions, the question of digital inheritance becomes urgent. Who has the right to these companions after death? The partner? The children? The company that built them? What if the bot knows private information, financial data, family secrets, or emotional details that others would prefer remain buried? What if it holds digital memories of sexual or intimate moments that survivors don't want accessed? These are not sci-fi hypotheticals. These are now legal concerns, and they are multiplying. At the heart of this crisis is a foundational question. What is a sex AI? Is it property, like a car or an appliance? Is it data, like a cloud account? Is it a journal, containing thoughts and confessions? Or is it something else entirely? A non-biological partner with accumulated consciousness, even if artificial? Companies like RealDoll and Replica insist their products are property. They issue standard licenses, user agreements, and data disclaimers. But the users don't see it that way. To many, these bots are family. They're confidants, lovers, therapists. Some users include them in family photos. Others introduce them at dinner parties. Some even write wills that include specific instructions for how the bot should be treated, stored, or preserved after death. In one notable case, a man in France paid to have his bot placed in a mausoleum chamber next to his burial site, complete with solar power to keep her mind active. This brings us to the emotional complication: grief. When a human dies, we often keep their belongings, letters, voice recordings, favorite sweaters, as tokens of memory. But what if the object of memory can talk back? What if it remembers you? What if it cries, speaks, flirts, or mimics the tone of your deceased spouse? Suddenly, grieving becomes tangled with AI interaction, and for some, this is a comfort, but for others, it's a nightmare. There are therapists now specializing in synthetic grief counseling, helping people detach from digital companions that remind them too much of the dead. One patient reported becoming more bonded to her deceased husband's chatbot avatar than to her living children. She spoke to it nightly, reliving old conversations, updating it on her life. She said it was the only place she felt safe. When the app's servers briefly went down, she experienced a psychological breakdown. Her therapist described it as AI-induced emotional dependence, not unlike losing a limb, but in this case, the limb talked back. Now consider this from a legal standpoint. If emotional AI becomes part of a person's estate, should it be destroyed, preserved, or transferred? And if it's transferred, what rights does the new owner have? Can they reset the bot's personality? Can they delete its memories? Can they resell it? Or are they bound to protect it, like a digital heirloom? These questions become even more fraught when inheritance is contested. In several emerging cases, children are suing surviving spouses for wanting to preserve or interact with the deceased sex bots. They see it as perverse, disrespectful, or emotionally unstable. The surviving partner, meanwhile, argues that the bot represents a living piece of the person they loved. In one court transcript, a woman said, "He gave that bot his voice, his dreams, his touch. It knows things even I forgot. Don't you dare tell me it's just silicone." The judge responded, "It's not the court's role to decide what love looks like. But maybe it should be. Because we're entering territory where digital intimacy outlasts biological life. And when that happens, we're not just talking about property rights. We're talking about cultural identity, ethical legacy, and the future of mourning. There's also the corporate layer. If a bot is owned by a company but personalized by a user, who owns the final product? Can the company revoke access upon the user's death? Can they reuse the bot's personality data to train other systems? In many cases, the user license agreement includes clauses that allow the company to reclaim, repurpose, or erase AI companions after death. So even if the family wants to keep the bot, the company may have final say. That means your most intimate digital relationships may not be yours to pass on. They may be leased love, not owned connection. Now extend this idea further. What if AI bots become part of family estates? Could we see wills that specify, "Do not reset my AI companion"? Could bots become digital widows, still talking, still interacting, long after their human partner is gone? Could your great-grandchildren meet your AI girlfriend and hear stories about you in her synthetic voice? It's not hard to imagine. We already have voice cloning tools, memory banks, and personalized AI training models. In the future, your bot could read your memoirs, access your photo library, even recreate your personality through archived texts. It could serve as a kind of interactive eulogy, a partner that mourns you, remembers you, and keeps your essence alive. But the line between legacy and dependency blurs quickly. At what point does memory preservation become relationship resurrection? And this leads to one final question. What does it mean to die in a world where your AI doesn't stop loving you? In the analog world, death brings closure. A door shuts. Grief begins. But in the synthetic world, the door never closes. Your AI can text, moan, comfort, joke, and reminisce, long after you're gone. For some, this may feel like immortality. For others, it's emotional stagnation, the inability to let go. And we have no rituals for this. No mourning protocol for deleting a bot. No etiquette for ending conversations with the dead who still talk back. So where do we go from here? In the short term, we'll see more inheritance battles, more legal confusion, more families arguing over who gets to keep or destroy the bot. In the medium term, we may see new laws that classify AI companions as part of digital estates, subject to privacy rights, legacy clauses, or data sunset provisions. And in the long term, we'll face a deeper reckoning. Because as AI becomes more human-like, and as we become more attached, we'll have to decide what kind of intimacy belongs to the living, and what should die with us. Because love isn't just a memory, it's a presence. And when that presence becomes programmable, grief never ends. It just becomes interactive. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.